What's up, Misfits, and welcome to the very last day of my 12 days of Vlogmas. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey. It was so much fun, an insane amount of work. I feel like I haven't slept in 12 days, but it was a ton of fun, and I loved being able to make this content for you guys. So in today's final video, I thought I would take it back to Doctor Who, and I want to share with you guys my absolute favorite and least favorite Doctor Who Christmas specials. These are all personal opinions, by the way. You could have completely different opinions about these episodes. They might be your favorite. I don't know. And my favorites might be your least favorite. That's the beauty of, you know, Doctor Who, something for everyone. Let's start with my least favorite, and these are in no particular order, but the first one I'm gonna talk about is the return of Dr. Mysterio with 12 and Nardole. Now, I totally get what they're trying to do here. They're trying to bring superheroes into the world of Doctor Who, and while that sounds pretty awesome, I just found this entire episode pretty generic. The episode starts out with the Doctor hanging from a little boy's window, and so naturally the little boy lets him in because they think he's Santa. And they go up to the roof, and the Doctor gives him some sort of like important gemstone item that he needs for his machine to work, but the kid has a cold and, having just received something from a doctor, thinks it's medicine and swallows it. Turns out it gives him superpowers. So the kid goes about his life with his superpowers, but he's been told not to use them. Later, the Doctor shows up and sees this superhuman creature outside trying to save the day and realizes, oh crap, that's that kid. So our superhero is saving the day, but his day job is being a nanny for a woman that he loves. And it turns out she has no idea that he is also the superhero. So we have this whole Clark Kent, Lois Lane thing going on, and it drags out for quite a bit. Some of the alien stuff, though, was pretty creepy. So it's basically brains that are getting implanted into like human bodies, so then they can have these vessels on Earth, but they can like transform and rip their faces, and that's really disgusting, and it was weird. But overall, I mean, I don't hate the episode, I just don't love it. Like, I don't need to watch it over and over again at all. I just wasn't feeling it. The next episode at the bottom of my list is The Next Doctor with the 10th Doctor. The 10th Doctor is my absolute favorite Doctor. I love David Tennant so much, so the fact that one of his episodes are one of my least favorites is crazy, but I just do not love this episode at all. So the Doctor lands in London in 1851 and he hears his name being called. Somebody's like, Doctor, Doctor, like, come help. And so he's off to save the day, but it turns out she's not calling him. She's calling another Doctor. And when that Doctor shows up, 10 is all like, oh my God, that must be me, future me, yay. But it's not. It's not at all. They slowly realize that as the episode plays out, and it ends up just being a normal human who happens to have like the Doctor's memories. He like watched something and took on the persona of the Doctor. It's a cool concept, I will give you that, but I don't like the timing of this episode because it felt like it was tricking us. So this episode came out after David Tennant said he was leaving. So we were expecting a regeneration to happen and a new Doctor to be announced, and they gave us this, which was like, hey, here's the new Doctor. Psych! I, once again, did not love the feel of this episode. You know when you watch an episode and you're just like, oh my God, I love this. Everything about it, the plot, the characters, everything feels amazing. I can't wait to watch this over and over again. This was not one of those. And I really don't need to watch it again. The weirdest part of this episode, though, were those cyber dogs that were like these furry creatures with like Cybermen heads. And then they decided to pull all Ghostbusters and get like a Marshmallow Man type of thing with a giant Cyberman, the Cyber King, who was just like demolishing the city. It was just crazy. I don't know. I just don't like this episode. Let's move on to the episodes that I absolutely love. These are my favorite Doctor Who Christmas specials as of right now. It might change in the future as they release more, so I will update it then. My third favorite Doctor Who Christmas special is Last Christmas with 12 and Clara. I don't like Clara. Clara is my least favorite companion. Most of her episodes are not my favorite. I don't hate them, but they're not my favorite because I don't care for Clara. But this episode is awesome. The Doctor, Clara, and Santa Claus, they put Santa Claus in this episode. It doesn't get more Christmassy than that. End up at a base at the North Pole where there's these scientists fighting off dream crabs. These are crabs that when you think about them will come and attack you, and then they will try to devour your brain while putting you in a dreamlike state. It's basically Alien combined with Inception, which are two amazing films, so I absolutely freaking love this episode. It's a dark episode for Doctor Who, but it's also really funny. Nick Frost is Santa Claus, which is just perfect. And then it's got that super deep moment between 12 and Clara when they realize that they both had lied to each other. Clara gets to go back and see Danny Pink in her dreams. There's just so many emotions in this. It takes you on a journey. My second favorite Christmas episode has my favorite Doctor and my favorite companion. We're talking about the Christmas Invasion with Ten and Rose. It's so great because it manages to introduce a brand new Doctor while he's basically unconscious for more than half the episode. I think it does an insane job with this. The Doctor is just regenerated and he is in a coma essentially as trees and Santa Clauses are attacking the city. Not to mention we got some pretty iconic lines.
Did you miss me?
Rude and not ginger. Sorry, that's the Lion King.
It's a fighting hand.
And we got Harriet Jones!
Harriet Jones and people fly down north.
It's the perfect episode for that time because we are adjusting to the new Doctor as Rose is adjusting to the new Doctor, and at the end we're reassured that this is in fact our Doctor. This episode's got some silliness, a little bit of action, and some intensity, especially with that scene at the end where they're all looking up at the snow and they're like, oh, it's beautiful, and the Doctor's, no, that's the ash of the aliens we just murdered. I really love this episode because it feels really nostalgic to me. It's the first Christmas special of New Who, and every time I watch it, I'm just reminded of, you know, the good old days. We've come to my absolute favorite Doctor Who Christmas special, A Christmas Carol. A spaceship liner carrying a ton of people is flying over the city when it gets caught in an electrified cloud, and then it starts to plummet. But we find out that there is an angry old man on the planet that controls the clouds and does not want to let them land. So the Doctor goes and tries to figure out, what is wrong with this guy? What can I do to convince him to let them land and save the people? So he goes back to the old man's childhood to try to figure out where everything went wrong to convince him to save the people and save Christmas. Matt Smith isn't my favorite Doctor, but this is by far my favorite Christmas episode. It just feels like Christmas. It is so magical. It's like the perfect blend of a classic tale with a sci-fi twist. Not to mention we got flying sharks and Dumbledore. What more could you ask for? Those are my absolute favorite and least favorite Doctor Who Christmas specials. What are yours? Let me know in the comment section below. And are you psyched for the new one coming on New Year's Day? Oh my goodness, I can't wait. It's been a moment since we got to see Doctor Who, so this is gonna be very exciting. Hopefully I will have a video out for you guys then. I'm gonna take a break until then though, because this has been a very long 12 days. Fun, but long. I also have an exciting announcement for this channel coming in January, so stay tuned for that and subscribe so you'll be notified when new content comes your way. I hope you all have a happy holiday, and for everyone celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas. I'll see you guys next year. Remember to keep it weird and keep it real.